Chair Danborough and committee. I am Thompson Morrison. I am the CEO of a software company called Fuse Insight. I am also the board member of the TAO, the Technology Association of Oregon. I also am the president of TAO's Technology Education Foundation called TechStart. But of all those hats, the most important hat that I wear is as a parent, and a parent with children in the high schools here in Oregon. So last October, I was asked to come in front of the high school that where my daughter is at, Franklin High School, and to present to the seniors in the career day. And at that career day, I was preceded by someone from the department talking about workforce and talking about where the jobs were. And they were talking about how the jobs in our economy, and our economy itself is being driven by two important clusters: advanced manufacturing and software. She then asked these seniors how many of them were interested in going into computer science. Out of these 375 students at Franklin High School in Portland, Oregon, 3 students raised their hands. I'm standing there, and I know, as the board member of the TAO, that our most pressing problem in our industry is talent. It's a desperate situation. It is at a point of a crisis. We have had to institute ways to find new mechanisms to bring talent to our industry because we do not have enough people here. We have open recs by the hundreds. And so I'm sitting there looking at these kids and thinking, we have a problem. So as I stand before them, I began to ask them, I said, who has a smartphone? Who surfs the web? Who has ever played a video game? And they're all nodding their heads. I'm saying, yes, of course. This is really interesting stuff. This is cool. And in fact, the digital technologies is transforming every single industry, from farming, food processing, to medicine, to manufacturing. And that if you are not digitally literate in tomorrow's economy, and in fact today's economy, you are going to fall behind, desperately behind. Digital literacy is essential in any career you go into. And at the end of that, a senior raised his hand. And he said, Mr. Morrison, we understand that. We really do. We're graduating in 6 months. What have you done to prepare us for that new world? And these are kids I've known since they were in diapers. And I said, you know, you're right. We have failed. So I began throwing out an idea to them. What would happen if we took all the resources of the Technology Association, our 300 plus companies, out of that pulled mentors, began to create those after-school programs where you could actually work on projects that were fun, interesting, and you could see the people who are doing this amazing work. How many of you guys would be interested in doing that? 60 or 70 of those kids raised their hands. And I said, yeah. Okay. We commit to you that by the beginning of the spring term, we will have that in place for you. So you have at least 1 term of exposure, of practice, of coaching from our industry before we send you off. And then we will put that in place for the rest of the students. And then I asked the students, what do we call this thing? And a girl raised her hand and said, we're going to call it Tech for Tomorrow. So I began floating that idea around with my colleagues. I said, hey, the students want to do this. What do you think? And they said, yeah, what a great idea. So in the first week of January, we pulled together an amazing group of people around the industry. We had educators, we had legislators, we had people from the industry, we had software developers, and say, we have 6 weeks before the beginning of the term. We have committed to them to launch this. And we have committed not only to launch this at Franklin, but to create a model that we can scale to every high school in the state. Can we do that? Because in our world, we work fast. Can we do that? And they said, yes, we can do that. And we've done it. In 6 weeks, with hundreds of conversations, virtual conversations, we have actually launched a program at Franklin High School that is to be designed as a model for our state. Bringing together the expertise of Hillsborough High with Don Domes, bringing together expertise from the legislative world with Representative Harker, pulling together expertise from the industry, saying we can do this. We can do this in partnership with our government, in partnership as a public-private, because we need to do this together. And so I come here today to demonstrate that we're not asking you guys, our legislative bodies, our representatives, to solve our problems. We're asking for a partnership. And a partnership that allows us to release this incredible talent that we have of our industry and our kids, to allow us to be able to quickly form new strategies, to invest strategically in those that we can scale. Because this is our Sputnik moment. This really is. I spent 12 years living in China. I have seen that economy be transformed. There are twice as many smartphones being sold this year in China as in the United States. That means 250 million smartphones in China. This is a very technologically savvy culture. And the whole region is, and the whole country is. We don't have time to sit back. This is our time to act. This is a small first step. It's an important strategic first step, but it is an essential first step with this bill. So thank you very much.